Hi to everybody. In everyday life, you are often confronted with a simple mathematical problem where you are given three numbers and you are asked to calculate a fourth number. And the three numbers are based on a basic relationship which is of proportional nature. And you can solve this kind of problems with the rule of three, which I'm going to introduce in this video. Let's start with a simple example to frame the problem. Let's assume that you would like to bake pizza. You have a recipe in front of you, and the recipe states that for 6 persons you need 840 grams of flour. Um, Now, the problem is that you are organizing a birthday party and you are inviting 20 friends and you are asking yourself how much flour do you need to buy. So this is a typical everyday life problem where you have got three numbers. You are looking for a fourth number for a solution here, which is based on a relationship between persons and flour in this case. And now this is an important point. This relationship here is of proportional nature in a way that more of one item is more of another item, or less of one item is less of another item. And this is an important assumption here because this video is based on this assumption, on these proportional assumptions, which in our case is given because the more people you invite to your party, the more flour you need to buy. The less people you invite to a party, the less flour you need to buy. There's also, we have also relationships where more of one thing is less of another thing, or more of one or less of one item is more of another item. But we will deal with this second um, art of relationships in a second video. Let's stick now, for the time being, to this kind of relationships. When you solve these problems, my advice is that you put on the left hand side of your paper the part of the relationship where you are given the two figures, which in our case is persons. Because I know that I've got the amount of flour for 6 persons and I'm looking for the amount of flour for 20 persons. So I state the part of relationships where I have given two figures on the left hand side of my paper, and the part of the relationship where um, I'm looking for the fourth figure is on the right hand side of the paper. I'm given the 840, but I'm looking for the fourth figure. So make sure that the figure you're looking for is on the right hand side, on the bottom right corner of your problem. Now, the rule of three, when you calculate that, there is a detailed way to do that. There is a memory hook or formula which you can use and makes your life quite pretty simple in your everyday life because you are often required to do this kind of calculation. So the detailed way is that if you know that 6 persons need 840 gram flour, you always go back to the amount required for 1 person because it is an easy calculation in the sense that you simply divide by the number that you are given on the left hand side and this gives you 140 grams. And once you know how much you need for one person, you can then imply the amount of flour that you need for 20 persons by calculating back or by multiplicating back the result you have got here with the number of that you have stated in your problem on the bottom left corner. This is, in this case, 140 grams times 20 is 2,800 grams of flour. Now, often you're in a kitchen, you don't have paper with you, you don't want to do all this detailed writing, and I give you a formula which you can use whenever you've got these problems. And the formula is, again, before you come up with a formula, organize yourself in a way that on the left hand side you put the part of the relationship where you are given the two numbers, which in my case is persons. So I've got the 6 and I'm looking for the 20. On the right hand side of the paper I put the part of the relationship where I am looking for the fourth figure, which is flour, and I make sure that on the first row I write down the basic relationship, which means the relationship that I already know, and on the second row I have got the part of the problem where I am looking for the fourth figure, and this ensures that the fourth figure is on my bottom right corner of the problem. If you organize yourself like that, there is a pretty simple formula you can always use to calculate the rule of threes without having to perform the step that I've shown here to go back to the unity, which is the number on your top right corner, A, divided by the number on your top left corner, B, multiplied by the number on your bottom left corner, C. This formula, this is the formula for a rule of three problem which you can use to calculate a fourth figure when you are given three figures which are in a basic proportional relationship, and assume that you organize your problem in a way as I have done it here. Now state the basic relationship on the first row, the relationship with the missing figure on the second row, making sure that the part of the problem where you are given two numbers is on the left hand side in order that the missing figure is on the bottom right corner of your problem. If you do that and you apply this formula, then you get 840 divided by 6 times 20. You put that in a calculator and you receive 2,800 grams in a very easy manner. So thank you very much for your attention. This was the rule of three formula for a relationship where more of one thing is more of another thing. In the next video, I'm going to give you the formula for a relationship where more of one item is less for another item. Thank you.